If you rarely touch a drop of alcohol but still struggle with stubborn belly fat and chronic fatigue, you are likely part of a silent global epidemic. Currently, 1 in 4 adults is walking around with a liver that looks exactly like that of a heavy drinker. For decades, the diet industry has told you to eat 6 small meals a day to keep your metabolism going. But clinical biology shows that this constant eating actually permeates your liver with toxic fat, suffocates your cells, and permanently locks in your weight. But your body has an amazing built-in rescue system. In this video, you will discover the 5 phases your liver goes through hour by hour during fasting. You will see exactly when your body flips the switch from fat storage to fat burning around your internal organs, and why this ancient process is the most powerful tool for liver health. Have you ever wondered if the exact advice meant to keep you healthy is actually what is making you tired and overweight? In the first 4 hours after a meal, your liver is in full processing mode. Whatever you ate, bread, fruit, rice, pasta, is broken down into glucose, which floods your bloodstream. Your pancreas notices the rising sugar and releases insulin. Insulin is basically the messenger that tells your body to store this energy. Your liver listens, scoops glucose out of your blood, and packages it into a storage form called glycogen. Think of glycogen like a battery that your liver recharges after every meal. But insulin does something else, too. As long as it is circulating in large amounts, fat cannot leave your fat cells. Not from your belly, not from your liver, not from anywhere. The fat stays locked away. This is normal after eating. The problem begins when people eat constantly. Breakfast, a mid-morning snack, lunch, afternoon coffee with a muffin, dinner, late-night ice cream. Insulin barely has a chance to drop. Fat continues to be stored but is never broken down. This is how a fatty liver develops over the years without you even noticing. Between the 4th and 8th hour, things begin to change. Insulin levels finally drop, and another hormone called glucagon enters the scene. Glucagon is the antagonist to insulin. It instructs your body to release stored energy. Your liver, which has about 100 grams of glycogen in reserve, equivalent to roughly 400 calories, begins to break down this glycogen to keep your blood sugar stable. This stored energy usually lasts for 8 to 12 hours, depending on how active you are. This is where you might feel the first faint pangs of hunger. You might be a little tired, slightly irritable, or find it harder to focus on a spreadsheet. This is all normal. Your body is recalibrating. If you actually feel unwell, dizzy, shaky, or have palpitations, that is a different story, and you should eat something. But for most healthy adults, this phase passes quickly, and what comes next is truly exciting. The real magic begins after the 8th hour, and almost no one talks about it. Between the 8th and 12th hour, your liver flips a switch. As glycogen runs low, it has to find another energy source and therefore turns to fat. Fatty acids begin to pour out of your fat cells, travel to your liver, and are converted into what are known as ketones. Ketones are a clean alternative fuel that your brain, heart, and muscles can run on. Many scientists today believe that ketones are actually a more consistent fuel for the brain than glucose. There are no spikes, no crashes, just constant performance. This is the metabolic switch that researchers constantly refer to. You have transitioned from running on the food you just ate to the fat already stored in your body, including the fat sitting in your liver. Growth hormone also begins to rise during this window. A 2024 clinical study from China followed 60 adults who practiced alternate-day fasting for 8 weeks. By the end, their growth hormone levels had roughly doubled. Ketone production spiked after the 12-hour mark, and their liver fat decreased by 12% on imaging scans. Growth hormone protects your muscle tissue, which is why short fasts do not break down your muscles the way crash diets do. You might notice your hunger subsiding around the 10 or 12-hour mark. This sounds paradoxical, but it is a well-documented effect. Once the ketones start flowing, the urgent hunger signals quiet down. Some people notice that their breath smells slightly fruity or metallic. This is because a small amount of ketones is excreted through the lungs. It is your body's way of telling you that the switch has worked. Mental clarity often increases as well. No food coma, no afternoon slump, just steady focus. This is just the warm-up. In the next phase, your liver begins to do something almost incredible. Between the 12th and 18th hour, a process called autophagy runs at full speed. The word comes from Greek and roughly translates to self-eating. It sounds alarming, but it is actually one of the most wonderful systems your body possesses. When no food is consumed, your cells start looking for resources internally. They scan themselves for damaged proteins, defective parts, and cellular waste. They package these damaged components and transport them to tiny recycling stations within the cell. There, the broken parts are dismantled and reused to build new, healthy structures, or burned as fuel. Specifically in your liver, there is a special form of this called lipophagy, which targets fat droplets within the liver cells. These are the same fat droplets that accumulate in fatty liver disease. During fasting, lipophagy literally breaks down these fat droplets and converts them into usable energy. This is the actual mechanism by which fasting removes fat from inside your liver. No magic, no detox tea, no juice cleanse, but simply a process that your body has quietly carried within itself for millions of years. In a 2024 randomized study in Iran, 80 patients with fatty liver disease were put on a 16-hour fasting schedule for 12 weeks. The results were remarkable. Liver fat decreased by more than 9% on modern imaging scans. ALT enzymes dropped by 15 units, and markers for lipophagy were measurably elevated. The body did the work all on its own, simply because the eating window was shorter. Some people notice that their skin looks clearer after a few weeks of consistent fasting. Others report that the swelling in their upper abdomen goes down. It is not just fat under the skin that is disappearing. The liver itself shrinks as the fat leaves it. A fatty liver is an enlarged liver. As it cleanses itself, it physically takes on a healthier shape again. Now it gets even more interesting. Between the 18th and 24th hour, your liver goes into a deep repair mode. Two important enzymes called ALT and AST are located inside your liver cells. When the liver is stressed or damaged, these enzymes leak into your blood. Doctors check them to see how your liver is doing. High levels mean trouble. A 2023 meta-analysis, which combined 16 randomized trials with more than 2,100 participants, found that intermittent fasting consistently lowered ALT and AST by 5 to 10 units, improved insulin resistance markers, and reduced triglycerides across the board. The strongest results were seen in people who were overweight or already struggling with a fatty liver. This means that inflammation subsides and the liver cells recover. Your liver has an ability that no other internal organ possesses. It can completely regenerate itself. Surgeons can remove up to 70% of a liver, and the remaining piece will grow back to almost its original size within months. Think about that for a moment. While you sleep, while you walk around, while you skip breakfast, your liver may be quietly rebuilding itself piece by piece. Insulin sensitivity also improves through regular fasting. Remember, high insulin levels lock the fat inside your liver. When you fast consistently, your cells become more sensitive to insulin, which means your body produces less of it. Less insulin means more freedom for the fat to leave your liver and stay away. This creates a positive cycle where each fast makes the next one more effective. After several weeks of consistent practice, many people notice their waistline shrinking. Their afternoon energy remains steady instead of crashing, and their blood markers, such as triglycerides, cholesterol, and fasting blood sugar, start moving in the right direction. The relationship with food often changes as well. Cravings become weaker. Meals taste better. You feel satisfied with less. But here is the most important part. How you break your fast can either undo the work or solidify it. When you eat after fasting, insulin rises again, and your liver switches back into storage mode. But it has a priority list. It replenishes glycogen first, before converting excess energy back into fat. This gives you a window of time where eating does not immediately ruin your progress. If you break a fast with a huge plate of French fries, sugary drinks, and dessert, you overload the system, and the leftover energy is stored right back as fat in the liver. The smarter way is to break your fast with something balanced. Some protein, some vegetables, maybe a healthy fat. Eat slowly. Your stomach has been resting, and you will likely feel full faster than you expect. So, what is the main takeaway here? Your liver is not fragile. It is actually one of the most resilient and intelligent organs in your body. It knows how to clean, repair, and even rebuild itself. It just needs the right conditions to do this work. Constant eating denies it these conditions. Strategic breaks between meals open the door for this. Intermittent fasting is not a trick or a hack. It gives your body the same kind of break that humans naturally experienced for millennia, before refrigerators, drive-thrus, and 24/7 supermarkets existed. Now, I would love to hear from you. Have you ever tried intermittent fasting, perhaps even unintentionally? What surprised you the most while watching? The fact that 1 in 4 adults has a fatty liver without knowing it? Or that your liver can literally rebuild parts of itself? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this exploration of your body's internal rescue system has changed your perspective on your daily meals, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. We are uncovering the biological truths that have been hidden under decades of misinformation. Take care of your liver, and it will take care of you. The next deep dive into your health is coming soon.